Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the last Sunday share of 2020. We are so happy to say goodbye for 2020. And I invited, yes, I invited my very long-term friend. I think we know each other since 2003 because of Dr. Richard Tefu-Tan. And welcome everybody to the Sunday sharing. Every Sunday, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I will always invite one of this Balance Method community family member to join us to see and say hi to every one of you. For years ago, that these people already practice Balance Method and they are doing really well until today. 17 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that tells us we can do Balance Method in a very profound way. And thank you for joining me. Please, when you're on, please say hi to me. I want to know where you're from. I want to know which country you're from, which state you're from. And I need to know all of that so I can say hi to you. And today, we are so proud that we invited Dr. Katrin Klose from Germany. She is in Berlin. And she visits San Diego many times to intern with Dr. Tan, to taking classes from Dr. Tan. I think she's taking multiple classes from the core foundation to the balance method, this meridian conversion, and all the advanced track like 5 elements, seasonal balance, 12 magical point, you name it. She knows all of them. Okay. So I'm so happy at that time. I was I was just a person who sells acupuncture needles, and she's already a full speed practice balance method, and she's also ENT doctor in Germany. She's a real human treating human doctor. Okay, she's not treating other than human. So not only that, she's specializing in the eyes, in the nose, and the throat. So I'm so happy to welcome her to come to join us today. That's Dr. Katrin. And I'm so delighted to have her here, offer her perspective on treating patients with multidisciplinary approach. And she's an ENT doctor, and she integrated a Chinese medicine, specializing in the balance method in her medical practice. A devoted disciple of Dr. Tan, she embraced the concept of the finding imbalance and restoring the equilibrium. We promise you will be fascinated with Dr. Katrin's sense of purpose and uplift by her lightness of spirit, joy, empathy, and clarity. Let's welcome Dr. Katrin Klose. Yay!
Thank you, Eileen. Thank you for having me. Well, how are you, Eileen?
I am very good. So tell us, I thought you know Dr. Tan 2003, eh?
Yes.
How did you find Dr. Tan?
Now, you need to know that I started to learn acupuncture in 93.
Oh, 93.
And after I finished my medical studies. And so at least in 2003, I was already 10 years practicing acupuncture. And I was even teaching for MDs the basic and the advanced track. The basic is a 104 hours program, and the advanced is a 340 hours. And I was practicing acupuncture in my own practice starting in 2000. And now I found out that with the same results, or with the same points for one diagnosis, I couldn't get the results I wanted every day. So the results were not repeatable. And I did everything as I've learned it from the books, and I did what I was teaching to the MDs, but it did not work the way I wished. And so I was looking for a guy who could be able to explain the real acupuncture to me. And I was on a search. And so I was in a class of Dr. Tan in Rothenburg. You need to know Rothenburg is a every year a big congress for TCM, for so-called TCM.
Yes.
And
I know. I've been there and hang out with you.
Yes. And I was the first time in the class of Dr. Tan. And I was sitting there and he started the class like, what did you amaze the most when you stepped into your first acupuncture class? It's no. It's the principle of yin and yang. And I was like, oh no, honey, no, not again. I mean, okay, after 30 minutes, he still was talking about yin and yang. And I was like, patience is not my first name. So, and I was about to go, but I said, no, I'm gonna stay calm, and I wait. And after 1.5 hours, I thought, that's special, that's weird, that's really different to what I've heard before. And at the noon break, I went to the front, I said, hi, Dr. Tan, I'm Katrin from Berlin, and I wanna get your student. I wanna become your student. I wanna get everything from you, and I wanna learn your style, because I felt this is totally different. And this is so amazing, so exciting that I really want to learn it. And I was like, I'm a doctor and I'm here and you going to teach me. And he said, nice try. Go home.
Yes, he always say, nice try. Yes, I remember.
Like that, go home after this class, you try it every day, what I've learned, what you've learned here. And I felt, okay, I will.
Powerful, huh?
And I went back and I started to treat patients on Monday with what I've learned in that class. And it was really changing my acupuncture life.
So now I'm going to show a photo of you listen to Dr. Tan at Rosenberg.
But this was later, the photo
you're going to see, that was a long time ago. I dig it out from my photo book. So I'm going to show everybody that you were there, listen to Dr. Tan when he was still young and handsome. Can you get the sidebar?
Yeah, but this picture, Eileen, was taken later because after I met Dr. Tan the first time in Rothenburg, I was practicing the method, and I went to the next classes, and 1 year later, I applied for an internship, and he took me.
I am very proud of you. Good job.
1 year later, it was the first time that I was in San Diego for the acupuncture class, a 4-day seminar. And at that time, I was already so addicted to this method that I came every 4 to 6 weeks to US for 3 to 5 days.
Yes.
To follow all his classes, and additional sitting on his shoulder in his clinic.
Yes.
So I was watching over his shoulder.
And not sitting on his shoulder, yeah, watching over, shadow him. Yes, correct.
And I was just observing in his clinic as often as I could, although I had little kids and running practice, but it was so precious for me. And I did this for about 4 or 5 years. And it was so precious. And this picture is from 2006.
Yes.
Then
yes.
I supported him. I had the honor to support him in Rothenburg.
Right. I was there too. I took that photo for both of you. Yes. So I can't wait until one day there's the virus is gone, then we will facilitate somehow for you to be able to teaching over there in Germany, to help the people over there in Europe to be able to learn Dr. Tan's balance method in a proper way, in the systematic way, the logical thinking, acupuncture 1, 2, 3. I think that will be our goal for the Academy of Acupuncture, or all the people who's in the balance method community. and then we got to learn in the right way. And I know that you learn from Dr. Tan directly. That will be totally very helpful for all the people who can learn it in the right way.
Eileen, it will be my pleasure to support you and to help to distribute this precious knowledge, because especially in this time, it's so important to keep in mind that never be too depressed because it's going to become better, and never be too happy because there will come other times. So this is a balance of yin and yang, as Shifu taught us. So I will be very happy to help you to introduce German-speaking practitioners into these original theories of Dr. Tan, and into this theory of what he finally put together, because he didn't find it, he just found it out, because he's
compile all together.
Yes, he piled it together, and he just piled it together in a strategic way, in a very good way to reproduce it and to teach it. And it's just the system of life which he explains, at least with the I Ching.
Yes, absolutely. That's why you keep on coming back for how many years? 3, 4 years, 5 years, I think.
Yes, 5.
Yeah, I remember those days you coming in.
2008.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. We hang out in San Diego often.
Yes.
And in Rosenberg often. Thank you so much for having me in your life, because I learned so much from you. I learned how to be like a lady luck. I learned to be. I was young and doesn't know anything. So you teach me to be a very better person. Thank you very much. I learned from you a lot too.
Thank you, Eileen. I just adore you, how you do everything, and I'm grateful that you continue Dr. Tan's heritage in the way you do it.
Thank you. So I know you prepare a lot of case study for us, and that you understand we are so eager to listen to case study. It's the German people and then the European people different than American patients, or I don't know. I never treating people in Europe, so share more information with us. What kind of things that you see? Tell us more.
So you need to know. From the day I met Dr. Tan, I started practicing just balance method, because the results are simply repeatable.
Yes.
And that means if you have a symptom and you have a precise diagnosis, acupuncture really, it always works. You can't do magic like that, but the symptom will change. If you have, for instance, a pain, the pain will change, either the character of pain or the location or the intensity. So anything is going to change. And this is the reason why I sticked and stayed with the balance method. And I have a practice for ENT primarily. So I have a regular ENT patients with all the ENT diseases, but besides that, I treat everything you can treat with acupuncture. So gynecological diseases, digestive disorders, all kinds of pain, joint pain, and rheumatological diseases, allergies, of course, and skin diseases. So everything what is possible. And because I'm so used to the great results of acupuncture, I don't want to repeat that because it's kind of, I wouldn't say boring, but if you practice such a long time, you feel like, why should I talk about that? I mean, everybody knows that works. Sure. Yeah. And that's why
not everybody practice that long. So you have to always remember, you have to share this with all the people, because even though to you it's no longer be magical, but it's still.
I have enough idea. Yes, I will share with you. I just write it down. Okay. And that's why I was scratching my head. Then Eileen was asked me to think about case studies. And I thought there were some cases where it did not work. And let me start with one case. It was a Friday afternoon. I was already kind of tired, and a young man came in with a left side headache. He had a dull pain headache, and I felt like, okay, when did that start? 2-3 weeks ago. I thought, okay, sinusitis, fine. And they said, but it's everywhere and a little dull, but more here. And I thought, okay, what do you do for a living? What's your profession? Maybe you had too many beers today? No, okay, but I didn't say that. So, and then I checked him ENT-wise, and I saw a little inflammation in the nose, a little, not inflammation, but a little redness in the throat, but no pus in the sinus, the ear is fine. And all the neurological state was roughly okay, but he had that pain. So I took my needle, sticked one needle in, same side, for this pain here. You will learn the points. So it's a Shaoyang, it's a Shaoyang, has been a Shaoyang pain. And usually, or I was used to an instant reply.
Right.
And I said, okay, where's the pain now? Here. They're like, okay, second needle. And now, same here. I need more needles. Okay. I took a third and a fourth needle. My assistant was so nervous. She never saw that before, but I need so many needles.
4 needles?
Yes, and I stick in the fifth needle and nothing happened.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, that's not good. There must be something serious.
Right.
And I had my practice in that time, half days in a clinic where we cooperated interdisciplinary. And I sent that patient to my neurosurgical colleague and to a CT scan. And guess what? He had a brain tumor.
Wow. Okay.
So
yes. Structure damage.
What I want to say is you can use the acupuncture balance method also if there are morphological changes. But if they are too bad or too big to be balanced by the body, you won't get an improvement. Yeah. So, for instance, after sinus operation, patients sometimes have very swollen eyes like that, and they can't open the eyes, and they are bluish and from the blood. And if you, after that operation, or when I, after that kind of operation, stick the needles in, they could immediately open the eyes for 2-3 millimeters.
Wow.
Like,
yes.
Like that. Yes. And they were amazed. And I said, yes, there is hope. And we are going to continue this treatment twice a day the next week. So, and then it's really getting better, and the groove is getting fastly better. So that means acupuncture is not just a method for cuckoo patients, but it is a measure you can use for real morphological diseases.
So for your patient, that one was a brain tumor. Yes. So you refer him back to their doctor to do the surgery. So basically you save his life by early detection of growth in his head. Correct?
At least that's what a doctor does. I mean, he came to me with a headache, and it's my job to find out what it is.
Right.
And I mean, because of the acupuncture as a diagnose,
Right.
I'm maybe faster than I would have been without this. And I would have sent him to come back after a sinusitis treatment. Yeah. But I give you this example because if you get no result, you need a first re-diagnose. Maybe you made a mistake. That's
Right.
the first possibility. The second possibility is that there is any resistance, any morphological disorder,
Structural disorder.
structural disorder, which makes it impossible to be balanced by the acupuncture.
Right. Correct.
Give you another example. I love to dance.
Yes, 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 yes.
And dancing is so beautiful.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I am very amazed that I had a patient. She used to be the first ballerina in the Berlin State Ballet Corps. And now she is a ballet master there. And she is so great and I adore her. And she came to me and said, Dr. Klose, I have an ear pain. Can't you check it, what it is? Yeah. And I said, okay. And I checked her ENT wise, nothing. And I said, what's the matter? Yeah, have you been at the dentist? She said, yes, I've been at the dentist 2 days ago. And she got a dental treatment. And I said, okay, maybe this is the reason for the ear pain, TMJ wise. And I treated her and it became better. But the result was just for 2 hours better. I saw her next day again, same pain, same intensity, again a treatment, after the treatment better, but the pain reoccurred. And I treated her even on Saturday, what I usually don't do, but I love ballet, so what should I do? And the same result. So on Monday, I said, you know what, Mrs. Please go back to your dentist and ask to fix this problem because there must be something too high and your bite must have changed that way, right? You have a too big tension here. And
Right.
after this dental treatment, the pain disappeared.
Wow.
So you can see, you can get a relief from the pain, but you can't work about this against this resistance. And so the easiest way to get a good treatment for the patient is, in this case, to straighten the tooth thing.
Right. That's awesome. You are very, very detailed to be able to figure that out. Yes.
So, and I have similar cases like this. Another 2 cases, one with a lower back pain, and about 65 years old lawyer came in. And he had a lower back pain, and I treated him, and literally nothing changed. Not intensity, not the size, not whatever of pain, nothing. And I didn't treat him a second time, but I sent him to further diagnostic, and he is very grateful because there was found a tumor of the large intestine. He got an operation and was cured.
Wow.
So, and that's why I'm very happy to have this method, not just to treat patients and to support them, but also to support the way of diagnosis.
Right, because you're very confident that needle goes in, you will see the results. If you don't see the results, that is something is wrong, either structure, extra growth, or something is not doing correctly, and that causes the imbalance that will not be resolved. if we can confirm by the acupuncture that we know acupuncture is going to work, and then if it's not working, then we send them back. Yes, Dr. Tan always mentioned that, and you are also, yeah, that is very important.
Yeah, and there is another example. When I was young, this is one I just remembered. When I was a young assistant in the emergency room, I had one patient with a very bad nose blood, and I was working on him.
Nose bleeding?
Nose bleeding.
Okay.
Yes, with very bad nose bleeding. And I was working on that patient for 1.5 hours. And the next step would have been to bring him to the operation theater and to do a bigger thing. But at that time, I had already learned that large intestine 1
yes.
can fix, can not just cause, but also fix nose bleeding. So this is the thing you might learn. Large intestine 1 might cure nose bleeding. If you add another large intestine points, maybe even better. And now the question to all the acupuncturists who had the basic balance method, same side or contralateral side?
Opposite side. Okay, everybody, answer me on the Facebook right now. If you get it, you get a sticker. I don't see, I don't have 10-second delay on the Facebook, okay? Whoever answered it is the same side or opposite side for using large intestine 1 to treat your nose bleeding. Come on, guys. It depends on your beginner or your advanced students, because I did have that talking about the large intestine. How did you decide it's the same side or opposite side? I haven't seen anybody responded. Come on, people. Hello. Okay. Simon says it's same side. Simon, where are you from? Simon says same side.
Why?
And Bonnie say opposite side.
Yes.
And, hold on slowly. And the bleeding lead on the large intestine 1. Okay. Kazuko say opposite side. Who else have answers? Who else have answers? What? Ilana says opposite side. Simon say Matthew. Matt, hi Matt. Mike says same side. Christina said opposite side. Okay. Carla says opposite, and Monique say opposite. Backristed say bloodletting bilateral. No, we don't bloodletting. No bloodletting. No, we don't.
Bilateral is very Chinese.
Bilateral, very Chinese. Okay. We don't bleed, okay, people? We don't bleed. We only stop bleeding. So let me see who else have answers. Oh my God, this is so cute. All right, good. So we have opposite, we have same size mostly, or opposite. As Matthew say same side, and the only 2 people say same side. So it's opposite or same side.
So I'd say if you know the precise origin of the bleeding, then you go to the opposite side. But why? Following system number 6, you use the same side, but the large intestine meridian is crossing the line here. So you take the same side, which is the opposite side.
Yes.
Large intestine 1. But if a patient has a nose bleeding for a long time, the blood might also come out on the other side. So in general, you treat it by pressing like this. Yes, very strong. And you hold it for at least 1, 2, or 3 minutes. And then every nose bleeding will stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you hold it for 3 minutes and if you did everything and it did not stop, then you add this one.
Okay.
So this together works.
Okay, I have another question. Some people are just have a very much of the nose bleeding. Do we
Yes.
need to send them to like a ENT doctor or something to find out what's wrong with it?
There might be different origins.
Okay.
I had, for instance, just a patient with a melanoma in the nose.
Right, right.
So a malign tumor, which caused nose bleeding. And you don't see that from outside. So at least you need to get it checked.
Okay.
The most cases of nose bleeding come from the front, either because it's dry or because the people have a high blood pressure, or they tend to get some rising liver young or liver fire, especially if you have, for instance, kids with bleeding again and again. So you might treat them with acupuncture and or herbs. And but at least it's always a good idea to find out what is causing the bleeding.
Got it.
Just make sure that there is no tumor.
Right. Thank you.
And sometimes you might also have a so-called morbus Osler, which is a Wessel's disease or a disease of the blood of thrombocytes or something like this.
Got it. Thank you so much for your ENT specialist information about nose bleeding and how to treat nose.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you for the inside story. And yes, I did show them the large intestine story. All the students, when they go to advanced track, I will show them that they can do same side and opposite side. It's all good. Thank you.
What I wanted, I forgot what I want to say. I did this when I was a very young assistant, but I wasn't able to explain why it worked that way. And after I met Dr. Tan, I was able to explain it.
Got it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, those are advanced student class. So just to share that with you, thank you. I got it. You're very awesome that this, because usually people will do this to their nose anyway. So this one will be great memory for everybody in this class, like, right? For treating the nose problems and nose bleeding. Thank you so much for all this wonderful case study. And we also have time's up. It's already 11:33. We are over 3 minutes. But because of talking to you, and then we feel like it's time fly by, and like we only chat for 1 minute, but the time is already up. So thank you so much, Dr. Katrin. And thank you everybody for joining me. So every Sunday we have this the Sunday share at 11 Pacific Standard Time. Please join us. And next week, we are going to have Anna DeLopo will join us for our Sunday share. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Katrin. Love you.
Thank you.
I know it's late over there. I love you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.